The original television series Walking with Dinosaurs aired on the BBC in 1999. It spanned 6 episodes, as well as a few specials later on, some good. One of them, unfortunately, including the, well, not truly horrible, but still pretty, very lacking in the magic of the original 2013 movie. But yeah, that one really was a disastrous misstep. There was also some edited version aired on Discovery Kids in the first season of Prehistoric Planet, a couple years after the original series release. That was said to have been made more child-friendly by removing all of the graphic parts, which I'm not sure what that means. I was watching this original series, granted I wasn't that young a kid when it came out, and I was quite the dinosaur fanboy. I was one of the little kids who, when the original Jurassic Park, 1993 Jurassic Park came out, was in the theater cheering for the Velociraptors. Even so, I don't remember seeing this as particularly graphic, even with my love of dinosaurs, as many kids had. And going back to this, I don't see anything here that any half-realistic nature show that depicts predators at all doesn't really have. Kids are considerably more resilient than most adults think or remember themselves being. And it actually gets rather obnoxious to kids when adults censor much in their shows. When the most mature and helpful in the life lesson sort of way to teach about violence is to show consequences. And it is not helping anything, and more than that, destructive, to shield children, well, anyone from it. Anyway, this is a very good series, and is available to watch as much as you want now on CuriosityStream. You can just search it by typing in the title and watch this and as many documentaries, not just on dinosaurs, but on almost anything, provided they have it, that you want. And a monthly subscription isn't that expensive. It's less than $15 a month, and you'll learn far more about what subject it is you want watching these types of shows than in years and years of school. Seriously. So this original series consists of, 6 episodes, each about a half hour long. I remember I would visit family in summer. In summer in Maine, back when we used to go on family vacations before that got destroyed. So I used to have the full set of episodes, and I would play them to try and fall asleep to, as if kids ever do to go to sleep on vacation. And being the nature and dino documentary junkie that I was, and still am, even though my time is taken up by adult responsibilities now, and television rarely has anything on it that I even want to catch anymore, I even care to catch, but so back as a kid, I would, especially on vacation, I would often find myself watching not 1, but 2 or 3 episodes a night. Get through this series really fast that way, but it's such a good series. Watch it multiple times. You can also watch the episodes on the BBC Earth's Walking with Dinosaurs page. And you can probably buy the DVD set for not that much if you do a bit of looking around. The first episode, New Blood, is set during the late Triassic, just as the first dinosaurs and the first mammals are really coming into their own as distinct from all other reptile groups on the Earth. I think the only actual dinosaurs that appear in that first episode are Coelophysis and, near the end, Plateosaurus. Episode 2, A Time of Titans, which sounds like a Song of Ice and Fire book title now, doesn't it? It's the story of baby Diplodocus trying to survive hiding in the forest undergrowth until they grow large enough to join an adult herd on the plains. This was one of the first times that showed a very probable distinction in how young dinosaurs may have had to live away from adult dinosaurs and occupy different niches. Episode 3, Cruel Sea, is about marine reptiles of the Jurassic, ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, and even Liopleurodon, which was a pliosaur. It belonged to a group that shared a common ancestor with plesiosaurs, and was actually, if I remember correctly, an offshoot clade of plesiosaurs that lost the long neck and grew larger jaws. A lot like alligator jaws, but even larger. The Liopleurodon in this episode is exaggerated in size. I think, say it's about, how long did I say it was? Still like 15 meters long. That's about twice as long, about twice as big as they actually grew. But when that's really the only exaggeration in the episode, I can't complain that much. Episode 4, Giant of the Skies, follows an elder ornithochirus as he makes one last journey to mate, as he travels up from the coast of early Cretaceous South America to North America. Raptors appear in this episode. Utahraptor, and they don't have feathers. This episode came out at the tail end of 1999, and by this time, I think raptors were established to have been found with feathers. I think they found some very good impressions of feathers on dromaeosaurs by this time. Well, and were accepted to have had feathers by most of the paleontological community. I was still, yeah, I was too young back then. I hadn't gone very far into paleontology in academic studies. I mean, I was a dinosaur nerd throughout my childhood, but I hadn't actually joined the paleontological community yet. Was 1999? Was it by that time? It was right around the time. Okay, well, that, they could have been feathered in this episode. They should have been. Episode 5, Spirits of the Ice Forest, looks at a very interesting, almost lost world within and during the time of the dinosaurs itself. The small dinosaurs, and even large crocodile-like amphibians, that in other parts of the world have been displaced by crocodilians. But they survive here because the water is too cold for crocodiles. It's what will one day become the frozen overcontinent Antarctica, after South America and finally Australia completely break off. And episode 6 is The Death of the Dinosaur Dynasty, which features the last and most recognizable dinosaurs, such as Tyrannosaurus, Dromaeosaurus, another one of the raptors, Ankylosaurus, Torosaurus, which I believe there's an idea now that Torosaurus is the final adult stage of Triceratops. I don't know if that's been established for sure or accepted by the paleontological community yet. It's really hard to tell. You know, with these fossils, there's so few found, and so few even anywhere near complete individuals. And of course, if you what's going on now is scientists are able to look into dinosaur bones and see details of bone growth, so they can see if an animal was a youngster or fully grown. Even dinosaurs, yeah. The problem is we still can't really... there's still not enough to say which are one species, which are another. And this is a huge controversy with most famous Nanotyrannus. Was it a separate species, or was the juvenile T-Rex? I'm kind of closer to the opinion that it was a juvenile Tyrannosaurus, but there's just... The problem is the evidence is just so few and far between. Even when you have complete skeletons, you just don't have enough of population. What would have lived during that time, among other problems. Among other things, that's what makes it really hard to say. All in all, this core series is amazing. I highly recommend watching it at least once, even if documentaries aren't your thing. It's so well done for its time. It's a little outdated, not much, and its exaggerations are pretty minor considering what I've seen elsewhere. To say it blows the 2013 movie out of the water is... even that's an understatement. So I highly suggest watching this series if you're interested in dinosaurs, even if you're a kid. The idea that this is graphic is ridiculous. It does have not exactly dark, but a somber feel and atmosphere to it. The narrator does not have a very energetic voice, but it doesn't really go at an energetic pace either. And everything else works so well that, I mean, it doesn't hurt it. The energy is in the travel that the dinosaurs are doing, the experience, and a few dinosaur fighting moments, which every episode does have, and they're cool. It's just not the focus.